easy for our ego to take over and just dismiss everything or so many things as just being crazy, as people are being crazy, as, oh, that's just a coincidence. We just tend to just brush things off without really even opening our mind to even think about the possibility. So find a way to... Hello fellow lightworkers, my name is Monica and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today's video we're going to talk about how to break free from the matrix and how to stay woke. So one major thing that I have learned since I've become spiritually awakened is that there's not just one awakening. There's that first initial major one that happens, and then I've had about 3 more since then. Basically, the way that I would describe breaking out of the matrix, or what the matrix is in general, is an illusion. Just like the movie, but not exactly like the movie. But it is an illusion of our reality and how we perceive things to be and how they work and how they actually are. And then when we go through this major awakening initially, it completely shatters that illusion and kind of throws us for a loop because we're like, oh my goodness, everything I've learned basically is a lie. And that can be a very scary thing to handle in the beginning. So with each awakening that I've had, it was usually triggered by something I heard or someone I was talking to or something I had watched that just really just resonated and just clicked inside of me, and my soul just felt that to be true and to look further into it, and that's how I've expanded my consciousness. So basically each awakening is expanding your consciousness. I just wanted to give some of my own personal tips of how to break out of the matrix and also how to stay woke. I know someone, I think in the past, at least one person has asked me about this, because I think they said something like, I felt like my third eye was open, but now I feel like it's kind of closing. And for me, when I first had my initial awakening, I didn't really know what else to expect. I thought that was kind of it, and I didn't think I had anything else to look forward to, but boy was I wrong. And at that point, I kind of felt like I knew all I needed to know, and yeah, I was still kind of clueless at that point. But now I have realized that I know nothing. There is so much to know. I feel like I know absolutely nothing, and I'm constantly learning, and that's fine. I mean, this universe is a school for us to learn and for us to grow and to expand our knowledge continually. Otherwise, life would be pretty boring, right? All right, let's get right into it. My first tip would be to simply question everything. And I mean everything. Don't take anything at face value. Don't just believe everything the news or mainstream media says. Don't believe everything your parents or your friends or your coworkers say. Sometimes what they say resonates with you and you feel that to be true. Other times you don't quite agree with them, but maybe you're afraid to speak up or to think differently, because we tend to have this herd mentality where we don't want to be left out and we don't want to be left behind. So we kind of suppress our true self in order to fit in. So you don't necessarily have to share all of these different beliefs or thoughts you have with other people if you feel like they don't understand where you're coming from, but at least don't deny them with yourself. So don't be afraid to question what you hear. Don't be afraid to look into conspiracy theories and go down the rabbit hole to just see a different point of view and see what kind of makes sense. Do your research and just figure out what you truly believe. And it doesn't matter if it's not all true, factual, or correct, as long as you're really being true to yourself and what you feel. That's why we're all welcome to have different points of view. It's okay. Not all people who are woke agree on the same things. Not all light workers probably agree on the same things. We're still different people. We just know that we're living in an illusion in the matrix, and that not everything presented to us is real. So we do question things, and that is a good way to not be a sheep, to not just follow what everybody else is doing and saying just for the sake of following it and not having an original thought. So I feel like that is the most important tip I'm probably going to give, is to just question everything. And with the internet, we have so many resources, so many people sharing their own individual thoughts and opinions, that we can look into what other people are thinking and saying and seeing what other people have researched and found and come to our own conclusions. I feel that is very, very vital for breaking out of the matrix. So my second tip for today would be to keep an open mind. It can be so easy for our ego to take over and just dismiss everything or so many things as just being crazy, as people are being crazy, as, oh, that's just a coincidence. We just tend to just brush things off without really even opening our mind to even think about the possibility. So for me, there's a lot of things I may have not seen proven, but I believe in the possibility, or I just believe that it's there. For instance, like aliens. I have never seen or talked to an alien, but I do believe when other people talk about their encounters, and I think that the world, the universe is so huge that how can we be the only species in the entire universe? That to me doesn't quite make sense since it's so vast. So yeah, I mean, just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean that I have cause not to believe it. And I do keep an open mind regarding that. And since then I have seen a few UFOs, and that has definitely been enough proof for me to believe in them as well. I've also never seen a Sasquatch, but I know people personally who have had experiences and encounters with Sasquatch, and I'm not going to just dismiss it as crazy just because I haven't seen everything that other people have seen. How could I? That doesn't mean that it's not true, that it doesn't exist, or that's not their own truth of what happened to them. So I don't like to just quickly dismiss it without at least being open-minded and thinking, yeah, you know, that's some good points. That's some good things that you brought up. That actually makes a lot of sense. So I like to think about it for myself and be open to it. My last tip for this video is to just start to trust your intuition. Start to really hone in your heart space and to really feel what feels right to you and what doesn't feel right for you. And that's how you resonate with certain things and you don't resonate with certain things. And logically, something may seem just absolutely ridiculous and insane, and there's no way that could possibly happen. But in your heart and your soul and your intuition could be like, you know what? I feel that actually might be happening, and maybe I should look into it further and see where this takes me. I feel like we're really deprogrammed growing up to not trust our intuition. We're supposed to trust just our five senses, what we can physically hear, see, taste, touch, and that we're just supposed to follow science. I'm not against science. I think science has a lot of cool things to it too that I think integrate with some of the spirituality and esoteric things, but we tend to just rely on that and be super analytical and logical and not believe in anything that we can't physically see or use our senses with. So I really highly suggest just learning to trust your intuition and go where it takes you. And of course, there are many other ways that you could help to keep your third eye open or to remain out of the matrix. You can do things like meditating. I always recommend meditating for basically everything. That will definitely help you to break out of the matrix. But I mostly just wanted to focus on those three things that I have come to discover that have helped me a lot since awakening and to mostly stay out of the matrix. There are times I kind of get sucked back in. Sometimes fear. I think fear is a big proponent of causing us to kind of shrink back and become more in the matrix. That's why I've also talked a lot about fear and how to overcome it, or at least to maybe not even overcome it, but just integrate it into how you're feeling and not be afraid of the fear itself, so that you can kind of look past that even though it still might be within your vibration, which is fine. That is my video for today. That's all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully that was kind of short, sweet, and to the point. Hopefully that also resonated with some of you guys and will help you really help you in continuing your spiritual journey. Stay woke, my friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.